and welcome to another live stream here on the channel for the Black Hood Crew. I am your host slash chauffeur, Darkness 30XX of the Black Hood Crew. Name is there always in the corner. You can follow along at the Black Hood Crew on YouTube and Facebook, and you can follow along at my name on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Trovo, TikTok, Instagram. So let's go ahead and get this ride going. It is Monday, August 15th. We are halfway through August. And I am on my way to work. It is a very gloomy day. Just about walking out of the house. Thunder. Literally as I'm opening the door to get to my truck, I hear thunder. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be another one of those wonderful, rainy South Florida days. Because why wouldn't it be? It's typical. It usually has dry, hot, sunny mornings. And then just as the afternoon rolls in, bam, the clouds, lightning, thunder, and all the water. Which is, like I said, normal for the summers here in South Florida. So if you have any inclination, about wanting to spend your summer down here, I hope you take that into consideration because it's unavoidable. Like, you can't get around it. You can't get away from it. South Florida during the summer, they're pretty much asking to get rained in sometimes. Oh, I want to go to the beach. Sorry, downpour. Oh, I want to go to the park. I want to enjoy this attraction. That attraction closed due to weather. Oh, I want to go to Disney. I want to ride on this roller coaster. That roller coaster closed due to inclement weather. Story of our lives here in South Florida. Now, is it always like that? No. I'll tell you right now, it is not always like that. But the summers are like this. They just are. So all you can do is wait it out and hope you get a better day, or at least a couple hours where you're able to do whatever said activity you want to do. In the meantime, find stuff you can do indoors. We have malls. We have things that can be done indoors. We also have outdoor malls. Those, An outdoor mall with inclement weather is really just a bunch of people huddling up under canopies and inside different establishments, basically waiting for the rain to stop. Instead, figure out things to do indoors. Find stuff to do indoors because that's just how it is, especially during the summer. Wintertime, fall, spring, other three seasons that you don't really notice here. Yeah, you're more likely to, at least during those times, to be able to go outdoors and enjoy what South Florida has to offer. Yeah. Now, not for nothing, you can go to the beach during the fall, winter, even spring here. You just have to be ready for the water to be cold as ice some days. Because again, the air temperature does not dictate the water temperature. That water is coming from somewhere else. It's cold, usually up north, thanks to the Gulf Stream. So, yeah, theoretically, you can go to the beach to spring, fall, winter. Yeah, you can definitely go to the beach, but it's going to be a dry one for you. You're definitely not going to be going in that water unless you're used to it. I mean, some people are. They just are used to that cold water, especially if you're coming from somewhere up north. That's thunder. So, if you're used to that kind of water temperature, by all means, hop in, enjoy yourself. Me, I'll be indoors. I'll be definitely far enough away from all of that mess because I will not partake. I'm just not going to do it. I'd rather be indoors. Indoors. Because I enjoy the indoors. I enjoy staying dry, staying out, and away from people in general. The things I like to do involve being indoors. My favorite pastimes include being indoors. They include many things that you can only do indoors, which I have story time. Story time from this past weekend. Well, anyway. So school is starting soon for many children in this country, which is fine. Mine started last week, Wednesday. That was their first day, last week, Wednesday. And it was a great first day. No complaints, everything good, thumbs up, right? Now, my ex-wife, in a moment of genius, I would want to say, told me about a place that was up near her. Now, she lives in Orlando with the kids. And over by her, which was about 40 minutes away from where she was, but still, we made the drive. It was a bar / restaurant / arcade lounge. Now, I ranted and raved about round one, where I took my kids and they had a grand old time for all of 6 hours. But this place did not have any of the more physical activities. You couldn't go there and have batting cages or the basketball or the bouncy area, the ping pong, the rollerblading, soccer. Like, it didn't have any of that, which is fine. Because what they did have was so many video games on so many different platforms that it blew me away. Like, for perspective, here we go. The main seating area and all the tables with chairs are surrounded on two sides by wall-to-wall pinball machines of all different themes, all different types, pinball machines everywhere. And that's just literally right as you're walking in. The bar was on a third side of the seating area, which was also your check-in area for like getting signed in and all that stuff. The last wall was actually not really a wall, but more like a little cubby sitting area type thing, with not one, not two, but three, what would have to have been maybe 60-inch flat panel televisions. Each one with a Nintendo Switch connected to it. Each one with different games installed. Now, obviously, for the competitive type, they all had a copy of Smash Brothers Ultimate, which I knew was going to happen. The rest of the place had all types of other arcade games, both new and old. There was some skee ball in the corner. They had, obviously, your Dance Dance Revolution and others like it. But the bar itself is what really blew me away, because you could sit at the bar and drink and eat, but you could also sit at the bar and play. They had Switches, Xboxes, PlayStations. They also had the mini consoles, like the SNES Mini, the Genesis Mini, hooked up to TVs, individual TVs, where you could sit there and game on these old school games, while seated at the bar. And then, to add insult to injury, the entire aesthetic, the theme of this entire place was, I would say, hipster, gamer, anime, manga fan, comic book fan. Because that's literally what the walls were decorated with. Was every corner was not spared. There was some sort of artwork, whether official or hand-drawn, to a manga, an anime, a comic book character, a TV series. Like, there was this one piece of artwork that was absolutely crisp. Was a hand-drawn, hand-painted version of Doctor Strange. Now, it was on the wall, about halfway up to the second floor, going up some stairs. So you go up, first set of stairs is a landing, second stairs up to the right, led to the second floor, where there was more games, more Switches on TVs and stuff like that. But right at that middle part, with the middle landing, giant mural, Doctor Strange. And it was absolutely wonderful. Very clear, crisp lines, great take on Doctor Strange. And it was painted, colored, fantastic. Very good representation of Dr. Stephen Strange. But that's just one of the many pieces all throughout, not only the main areas where the gaming took place, but also the hallway leading to the bathroom, glow-in-the-dark posters. And these were posters that glowed under black light, not under cover of darkness. So, under black light, fantastic, great posters. Many different properties were represented in those posters. Stranger Things, Scooby-Doo, like a little bit of everything, and not just dolls, but the ceiling as well. And I had to use the restroom, and in even the restrooms, the walls, the door to the handicap stall, like all of it, wall to wall, floor to ceiling, with this aesthetic, comic book characters, video game characters, manga characters. Like, they had it all over the place. The tables themselves were not solid colored tables. On the eating surface were anime posters that was the surface that you ate on. They were laminated to prevent them from obviously being damaged or anything like that, but and making them easy to clean, easy to eat on. But still, those were the tables, and you're from the outside, like you're walking in, Death Note, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, like great stuff. And that's literally when you walk in. And I felt home. That's what it felt like. When I walked in and I saw all of that, the games, the artwork, the food was good too. Drinks were good too. It definitely felt like home. Like, damn, I'm where I'm meant to be. And it was nice being able to see my kids enjoy a lot of these same things. Because it's all of my favorite things. The anime, the manga, the superheroes, the comic books, obviously with the video games. Like that, like if I could show you a place that represented me as a person and all the different things that I enjoyed, or at least most of the things that I enjoyed, this one location was it. Like one establishment was it. It was that place that the whole aesthetic behind it, all the things that I enjoyed, you could see it on the walls. You could see it all around. I spent what had to have been the first 30 minutes of getting there just going around and taking pictures of all the little things. Like, it was great. Absolutely great. Absolutely fantastic. Like, I felt extremely comfortable there. Just walking around and taking pictures and stuff. Yeah, people gaming around me and doing this and doing that, going from here to there. But yeah, I still felt extremely comfortable there. And my kids did too. They had a grand old time. We were only there for a couple hours because obviously they had school the next day, and their mother decided she was going to disappear to make phone calls in the car. So anyway, the kids had a great time. I had a great time. I will definitely be going there. I will definitely be going there again. Should I ever visit that particular area of Orlando? Yeah, grand old time. Like, I spent the remaining, I would say 30 to 40 minutes that I was there, seated at the bar while my kids were playing on other stuff. And I was on the SNES Mini playing Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. Which, if you have not played this game, you are wholly missing out. Like, this game came out in like 94. Was it 94? Early 90s. I think it was more like 92, 93. This game came out on the Super Nintendo. It is the one and only time in the history of gaming that two almost polar opposite companies decided to take one's biggest franchise and apply the other's signature game style and combine them. Imagine a Mario game that played like Final Fantasy. How can you go wrong? This was back even before Square merged with Enix. So they weren't known as Square Enix then. This was Squaresoft. Right off the heels of Final Fantasy 2 and 3 being released in the United States. This was what, a 4 and 6 being released in the United States as Final Fantasy 2 and 3. 3 being the best one, hands down. And they decided, well, let's try something. Let's merge Mario and the Mario characters, give the gameplay a Final Fantasy feel, a role-playing game feel, an original storyline, and two, not just one, but two original characters made specifically for this game. It was perfect. It was perfect. I've never played a game that had so many things going for it. The art style, the use of characters, the story, the dialogue, the music. It was fantastic. It was absolutely perfect. The jokes, the cameos, everything this game had going for it. Everything this game had going for it. And it was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely a top 10 of all time, have to play, have to enjoy. And there I was sitting at a bar in Orlando as my kids were enjoying other games. I'm playing a game that's over 20 years old. Almost 30 years old, actually. And I was so happy. I was so happy to sit there and play this almost 30-year-old flipping game in a bar, at a bar, in an establishment that was literally filled with all my favorite things, and just enjoying myself. Yeah, definitely must play Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. Like, here's something to tell you. So, if you've ever played Paper Mario, whether it's the first one or the sequel, The Thousand Year Door, which are both absolutely monster, fantastic games on their own, the original inspiration for those two games was Super Mario RPG. In fact, the original Paper Mario started out as the sequel to Super Mario RPG. And the only reason that became what it became was because Square Enix, by this time they had already merged with Enix, Square Enix left Nintendo as a partner and instead decided to work more with PlayStation, which is why you saw a lot more Final Fantasy titles being released on the PlayStation platform as opposed to the Nintendo platform. Even though the Nintendo still got Final Fantasy themed titles later on. Like the GameCube had Crystal Chronicles, which great game. Definitely got to enjoy that one. But there were definitely more Final Fantasy games on the PlayStation console than there was on a Nintendo. And you definitely didn't see any on an Xbox, obviously. But it was nice while it lasted. But we had the one perfect game come out on a Nintendo console. Now that things have gotten much better, we're starting to see more Final Fantasy or more Square Enix themed made titles. Some of them are actually coming back onto Nintendo consoles. Maybe, fingers crossed, maybe this is just the right time where we will see Super Mario RPG, maybe even on the Switch. That would be fan flippin' tastic to be able to have that game. Now, do I think it's going to happen? No. But a man can hope, can he? So on that note, we're going to go ahead and cut it out. I've arrived. I've already started to prep myself, getting work badge on, which I can't show you because my job doesn't pay me enough to name drop. So until tomorrow, where you can find me again here on the channel, Black Hood Crew, YouTube and Facebook. My name, Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Trovo, TikTok, Instagram. Until next time, be safe, be smart, and be excellent.